Okay, welcome to episode 4 of the Fitness Warehouse podcast. Today I have with me Jodi Barrett from Kettlebellkickboxingcanada, holder of multiple certifications. We'll go through those in a bit and explain those to you. Welcome to the podcast, Jodi.
Thanks for having me.
Taking the time. First question that I have for you, just kind of take us through your certifications. What are they? What do they mean? What did they take to get them? That kind of item.
Okay, so I have a bachelor's degree in kinesiology. So that was 4 years, and I was a stay-at-home mom, so I didn't use it right away, but I always did a little bit of fitness and personal training with it. Mm-hmm. And then, and it came in really handy for what I do now.
Right, yeah.
And then, so with my kettlebell kickboxing, I got my master level with that organization, and then I got certified with Steve Maxwell with his MKC, which was really cool because Steve Maxwell was one of the guys who brought the kettlebell, the RKC, to the States.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's neat. Have you done any either kettlebell competitions or kickboxing competitions?
I have not done competition, mm-hmm. So what we train is exercise. I have sparred in Muay Thai a little bit, but I've never gotten in the ring.
Not
for
an
sure.
actual fight, yeah.
No.
That's fair. Have you, how long have you been doing this actually? Like, how long have you been doing Kettlebell Kickboxing Canada?
We launched in 2017, so our 2-year anniversary is coming up.
Oh, nice. What's the date?
The date of it?
Yeah.
October.
October?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't specifically say. It was a massive dates and so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. What's your daily routine look like? An ideal day, if I understand that they might be scrambled sometimes, but kind of an ideal day for you.
Well, I'll probably get up around 5:30, 6 on a day if I ever get to sleep in a little bit.
Okay.
Most of the times I get up, for me, I always write my 10 things I'm grateful for before my feet touch the floor.
Okay.
Just because I know I'm going directly to social media, so I need to just kind of ground myself a little bit in that moment. If I don't go train in the morning, sometimes I will, but sometimes I'll just jump right to work. So I do all my posting to all the many different platforms. Mm-hmm. And then from there I just start emails. If I have any privates that day, I'll teach those, get ready for, it's unique. This is because I teach classes here in Regina, but I also train certified trainers across Canada.
Okay.
So my biggest challenge is always, where do I direct that focus? Mm-hmm. So I have to really balance between, my clientele here and then my trainers across the country. And I actually we have a kin program with our within our level certification now, that we have some trainers from the States and that are involved too.
Okay.
So as we grow, we're pulling in people from different places with the same certification.
Yeah.
So I do that, and then I get ready for my classes, and then I always make sure that I get time to train, mm-hmm. because that's hugely important to me.
Yeah. Especially with the amount of stress that comes with satellite coaching and coaching your own classes. It's important to have that release, absolutely.
And I have kids, so I have to also juggle them in there too.
There's that
I almost
too,
forgot I had kids.
Just want to go back to the 10 points of gratitude. How long ago did you start that, and what inspired you to start that? Or was it somebody that you were following on socials that was saying do that, or was it something that came naturally to you?
Actually, my middle daughter, she was sick. We spent a lot of time at Edmonton at the Stollery Hospital with her. Okay. And I think it was just, I got to a point in life with her that I needed that. Mm-hmm. It was the things that got me out of the little bed that was beside her crib that got me up through the day.
Okay.
And I've just kept it. I do have a book that I leave by my nightstand that I write. If I'm traveling, I forget it for some reason, I'll take the time and I'll write it in my phone, or I'll sit on the bed and go through it in my head. Mm-hmm. But I think it's important. And I think when you go through harder stuff sometimes, it makes you realize that, there's still things to be grateful for.
Right, yeah, seeing a bigger picture for sure. Yeah, especially when the next step is to go onto social media and see, kind of the negative comments and such that you might see.
Yeah.
What were you doing before fitness, before you got into, well, maybe not specifically kettlebell kickboxing because you've been doing this for a while, right? Yeah. So what were you doing before you got into training?
I was a stay-at-home mom for 13 years.
Yeah, for 13 years?
13 years.
Oh, jeez. So let's say fitness was taken out of your life tomorrow. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, you can't do it anymore. What do you think you would move towards?
That's a hard one, because that's one of, like, if someone was to ask me my greatest fear,
Yeah.
and I'm like not being physically able to do something,
Yeah.
like train. But I think mentally, I think I'd have to get involved with people on that aspect, because I think if you can't physically train, there's mentally so much you can do, and it would have to be to work with people or kids, you know. So
more into like emotional or mental guidance rather than a physical guidance.
I think it would just have to shift from one realm
just
to
different
the other.
education.
Yeah,
I
think so.
Oh, that's a fantastic answer. Yeah. Where have you done your courses, or where have you done seminars and certifications? Like, I'm sure there's a number of places, but I guess 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's growing. I've been to Manitoba, Calgary, because they're my closer ones that I can either drive to. Been out to Vancouver a couple of times, and Toronto, and then New York.
Okay.
So
Manitoba, Winnipeg specifically?
Winnipeg, yeah.
Way off topic. Have you been to the Thermae Spa in Winnipeg?
No.
Okay. Anybody who's listening to this, and you especially, have to go.
Oh, really?
So it's about 4 or 5 different types of saunas with a cold tub right outside, and then they have a rope chain that you pull, and it dumps a bucket of cold water on you, like 15 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's a real like, you build up your heat for 10 or 15 minutes like you normally would in a sauna. Then you come out, do the real quick cold rush, and then they have a what do they call it? The relax tub. Yeah. So it's like a hot tub, but set closer to body temperature. Right. So it's more of just thermal regulation, right? Just ease it for a little while, and you stay in there for 15, 20 minutes again, and then right back in through the sauna, and you just keep cycling through. They also do have a hot tub. I'm not a fan of the hot tub, so I stayed out of it. But going from the sauna to the cold to the relax, sauna to cold to relax, and you pay, I think it's like $40. And you get the whole day. So they're open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. So you can stay there for 12 hours, just keep cycling through. And I was there about 3 weeks ago and just cycled through for about 5 or 6 hours. Yeah. And I could have stayed there for like 3 or 4 more, but we got hungry. So the menu, unfortunately, was overpriced. And my girlfriend has a lot of dietary restrictions, so there was not really much on the menu for her, unfortunately, so we had to bail. But I thought we'd be in there for like an hour or 2,
and
I was thinking it was overpriced.
Yeah.
And anybody who said Manitoba since, like, I've just been raving
about
really?
This place. I'm possibly going there on the 14th for some stuff, so
definitely if you can,
check it out.
Take the time. It's fantastic there. And I've lost my place. What is unique about Kettlebell Kickboxing Canada? What sets you apart from other training modalities?
Okay, so there's 2 things that I'll touch on. First one is the classes itself. So we pull in martial arts motions, and we use the Russian kettlebell, obviously. So we get to do cardio, mobility, and strength training all in one program. And just the different motions from the martial arts is just unique within itself. I've met some really interesting martial artists that have been training, like gurus that have been training for years, and they've said, like, we've trained with the kettlebell for years just because of functionality. Right. So the interesting story, if I can touch on it really, really quick, is the co-founder from New York. The guru that they have from their martial arts academy is Guru Dan Santo, who was Bruce Lee's training partner.
Oh, cool.
So I got to 2 of the other trainers that live in the same area and train with Guru Dan and Santo. I got to go for supper with them one time when I was there. Oh, nice. And I always say it was the most remarkable supper I've ever had in my life. Like, if you had to ask me one of my best, supper meals with somebody, it would be with those 4 people. Oh, really? Because just their humility that they had in that room, and there was never any sense of not greatness, but in the greatness where they thought they were greatness. Right. But they just had all these big ideas, and it was just, sometimes I can't even actually put words to it. When I start thinking about it, I get in the moment, I'm like, oh my God, it was just amazing. But so he was one of the guys who said, she's originally from Russia. He's like, you do kettlebell, you do martial arts, fuse them, right? So I always think it's unique when you go back to the history of it. I'm like, because that's where it comes from, right? So which is unique. What's unique with our kettlebell kickboxing for our trainers is when I got certified and I took over the Canadian region to certify, I wanted to build something for the trainers when they got certified. They didn't feel like they got certified, they walked out the door and they never had anything to do with me ever again. Like they can if they want,
right.
But I wanted them to feel like they could always come back and we grow together. So we launched in May was our kin program. So it was our tribe of trainers, and we have a platform that we chat on daily, and they have marketing, they have programming that's all at their fingertips.
Okay.
Because fitness has become not just fitness anymore.
No, yeah.
It's all
evolved,
of it,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's what's unique for our certification program, I think.
That's awesome. What drives you towards fitness? 5:30 is early. What gets you out of bed at 5:30 in the morning to keep kind of hustling this world and keep moving and keep motivated?
I think it's a hard one because that actually hits me deep. And I'm like, okay, so I've always known. I don't know what it was when I started kettlebell, and I always say, I remember I wrote in an article and I got to say 5 swings in, any problem I've had will dissipate. And it's just what keeps me going is the belief that I know that I'm growing something for other people, not just myself, but that I get to touch so many different lives. Yeah. And yeah, like I remember when I got on the plane to go to New York, I had people say, "You are nuts." Like I was a single mom of 3, and they're like, "Just get a Monday to Friday job." But when I come across it, and I actually came across it on Instagram, believe it or not, the program. Yeah. And I don't know, there was always something in me that knew there was something bigger for me to do. And I guess that's probably what drives me in the morning is I just know there's something. Yeah. It's my purpose, I guess.
Yeah. And much happier doing this than the Monday to Friday. And there's nothing against the Monday to Friday, absolutely. It fits for obviously most of the world. Yeah. But yeah, there's definitely outliers that just Monday to Friday is terrifying. Just going back to kettlebell competitions or kickboxing competitions, and you said you hadn't done either, and you guys don't do them in your framework. What's the reason, and what's the difference you think between training to train and training to compete? Right.
So we actually touch on this with our trainers when we first come in and we meet. So kettlebell kickboxing is hard style. So it's exercise. You perform it to get stronger, get better cardio, get better mobility. And competition is soft style. So that's where you compete to get a certain amount of reps. Really cool. When I was on a podcast in Toronto, when I was on, we had Jennifer Hittenberg come on. She is a world-class kettlebell competition. So we talked about the difference between the hard style and the soft style. And she's actually coming here in October to try to do a world record.
Oh, cool.
So that was cool. But yeah, so when you come into our class, we are exercise. So we're working on injury prevention and performance enhancement. So if you want to get better at a sport, then you would come train kettlebell kickboxing.
Right, okay.
So
training for the sense of like kind of an all-encompassing, getting better around and all modalities rather than just specifically swinging the kettlebell.
Yes.
So if it's okay with you, after we're done this part of it, I'd like to go back and have you demonstrate exactly what the kettlebell competition lifts are.
The competition lifts?
Yeah, because I don't think a ton of people are familiar with why the competition kettlebell is used or what exactly the movements are. Like you said, a world record, so there's obviously standards for it. And I get people coming in all the time asking, well, how come the big bells? Like, why are they all the same size? And it's, for competitions. What's a competition? So, if you don't mind, we can
I can go over, actually, to be honest, I can go over a few specifics about it, but I don't train competition kettlebells. Right. So I wouldn't be probably the best one to ask how to do a competition kettlebell swings and stuff. I can give you some differences between them and show the